Hello and welcome to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. That's Neti, Leddel.
And that's Brett Chapin.
Thanks for joining us on La La Land. This is the only show on CRN Digital Talk by Los Angeles artists about Los Angeles artists. And Neti is back from San Francisco.
That's right. I went up to San Francisco just last week. I am an actor. I am an actress, I guess you would say, technically. And I had an audition up there.
And it...
do you want me to tell you how?
Yeah, how did it go?
I don't want to be unprofessional here.
Okay.
But I guess so. I guess I will. So basically, I went up there. They told me to dye my hair blonde. And so I don't know if you can see me, but if you can, my hair is blonde now. And they ended up giving the part to a brunette.
Unbelievable.
I know. And so I figured, okay, well, next time, see you at the top. That is the funny part about, I've heard it all. Honestly, all of the audition story, I've heard it all. From here until, I don't know, eternity. I've been doing it since I was about 7, so.
And you keep going?
I'm used to it.
And you keep going after every audition and you get right back on the horse each time.
That's right. I keep going after every time I hear no. I still haven't booked anything yet, but I'm going for it.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there. It's been about 35 years. So
awesome.
One of these days.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
And Brett, how was the show last week?
It was good. We actually had the show on twice last week. We had a live broadcast from Theater Palace AIDS, and guest host Dorothy Dillingham Blue was nice enough to fill in for you for that. So that went really well. And then last week we had Callie Carson filling in. I had a lot of fun.
And Callie's in New York now.
She is. She's going to be calling in from time to time, hopefully, and telling us how she's doing. She's made the big move to the Big Apple.
Well, good luck to her.
Now, something I was thinking about, I don't know if this is true, and you guys listening, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we might be the only show in Los Angeles artists, the only show in Los Angeles by Los Angeles artists about Los Angeles artists.
It's true.
I don't know if anyone's doing what we're doing, but...
Nope, absolutely not. The real deal, the real artists. The mainstream media doesn't cover, I think, a lot of the real artists. You get the shows about the gossip and the trash talk, but not necessarily. Am I on now?
Yes, you are.
Was I on before?
You were.
Oh, good. Because all of a sudden, anyway. So yeah, it is. It's real artists. It's the passionate, inspiring Los Angelinos.
Speaking of people that do what we do, we actually somebody drew my attention to a website this weekend called reviewplays.com, and it seems to me like they're doing what we do except on a website. They review plays and they have interviews with artists all over the place. Really killer website, guys. Check it out, reviewplays.com.
Oh, wow. Yeah, reviewplays.com. And that's if you want to keep on the up and up and plays and theater that's going on in Los Angeles.
Great website. And we're going to be back in just a minute to talk a little bit about what we're trying to do here on the show. We haven't had a big chance to talk about that, so we're going to take a couple minutes and talk about that for you listeners. So we'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Neti on CRN Digital Talk.
I really have been sitting down and thinking about, what La La Land means and is, and it's true. La La Land was a term given to Los Angeles, not by Los Angelinos, but by people outside of Los Angeles who kind of, looked at Hollywood as a bit flighty and not the real deal. Which I think now, with the media boom more than ever, especially, so many Los Angeles artists have kind of come out from, for lack of a better term, the cracks, the crevices.
They're coming out there, and it's social media has made it so much easier.
Yeah, there are so many artists submerging in Los Angeles, and they're all underserved by mainstream media, and even the celebrities that are passionate and inspirational. We like to talk to. It's not about recognition. It's about your inspiration. It's about being passionate as an artist. It's about inspiring a community, and there are so many artists in Los Angeles who do that, and they all need a chance to say something. They all should have one.
exactly. And
they
that's,
dedicate their lives, and they don't really get much in return.
true. And that's what we're trying to do here on La La Land is help them get the recognition that they deserve and so justly need,
Yeah.
you know? And social media has really made it easy for a lot of artists to gain that type of exposure.
Yeah.
Twitter, Facebook, things that weren't even around 5-10 years ago have made it a lot easier for artists to get exposure, be seen. I just read something from someone recently that said they just booked 2 jobs off of just Facebook networking.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
Exactly. And it's even for us to get to you. I know I'm starting to reach out to people on Facebook and, let them know, hey, we have a new show. And if you know of any Los Angeles talent or artists that you feel are inspirational or just, valuable to the community, there's that word again, valuable, but I love it. Brett makes fun of me for valuable, but
So you overuse the word.
but it's true. It's like, what is an artist without value?
Yeah. No, exactly.
You know
That's
what I
very true.
mean? Because
Yes.
there are lots of, that's what Lala, I think, like the whole model thing with the actor model slash, it's just, there's no value there. But if you really get into it, there's a lot of good talent out here.
They're very valuable. We talked with Jan Glassband a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about a student of hers who had a I believe it was Hodgkin's disease, and he went to rehearsals every day in a show that he was working on and did really well, and he said that it really helped him get through the chemotherapy and get through the pain, is just being able to have somewhere to go, create something. If that's not valuable, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I agree. 1,000,000% on that.
So that's what we're trying to do with the show, guys. And if you know of any artists or you're an artist yourself who would be interested in sitting down for us for a little while and talking with us, give us an email at lalalandtalk@gmail.com. You can hit us up on our Facebook, our Twitter, and let us know what you think of the show.
Brett, you want to go ahead and spell that? LALA?
That's www. dot
LALA.
Facebook.com/LaLaLandTalk or
right.
Twitter.com/LaLaLandTalk.
Yeah.
Hit us up, guys. Let us know what you're doing with your art. And we're going to be back in a little while.
Yep.
Just a couple of minutes to talk to Amy Lyndon.
Amy Lyndon.
Yes, and she gave this to me, so I want to make sure I got it right. Amy Lyndon is an international booking coach, author, and award-winning actress and filmmaker. We're really excited to be speaking with her. For information on her, go to www.amylyndon.com.
All right, and this is not to be missed, so check us out in just a few.
And if you have any questions for her, Amy, or any of our guests, give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. We'll be back in 2 shakes on La La Land on CRN Digital Talk.
Chapin.
We have the pleasure today of talking to international booking coach, author, and award-winning actress and filmmaker, Amy Lyndon. Thanks for joining us, Amy.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
No, thank you so much for joining. I've known this woman for a couple years now, and she's been doing it for longer than that. So, actually, Brett, you want to go ahead and do the intro?
Yeah, I mean, you can speak from personal knowledge. I can speak from a resume.
Okay, all right,
So
go for it.
I'm just going to skip the bio and just start reading the resume because there's so much great stuff on here, guys. Amy has worked on NCIS, Law and Order, Days of Our Lives, Entourage, Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, JAG, NYPD Blue, General Hospital. The list goes on and on and on. She's also a filmmaker and an international booking coach and author.
Yeah, lots to talk about, guys.
There is.
So, did you always know that you wanted to, be this amazing entertainer?
Well, I didn't know I was going to be amazing until you just told me thank you. Actually, I've known I wanted to be an actress since I'm 10 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, I think you just, when you don't get enough attention, you just want anybody to clap for you,
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks for just not paying attention.
Oh, wow.
Was there an event that sparked your interest in the arts? Was there a particular event that you can think of in
Well,
your childhood?
actually, when I was a kid, my parents used to send me away to camp, and back east, they didn't send you away for 2 weeks; they send you away for 2 months. You know, you used to have
Lucky them.
I know.
Wow.
See you, bye. and they used to like put your name, like sew your name in the back of a shirt, just so your name, like your shirt wouldn't get lost.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned how to act, was in the theater in camp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. What was the part?
What wasn't the part? I went to camp every year. I mean, if they could have sent me to camp now, they would, you know?
Sure.
And so, okay.
So I did like probably, I went to camp for 9 years in a row. So I worked on 9 shows, and then it went into junior high. I went into high school and
Went into college.
community stuff, went into college, and then I came out to Los Angeles.
In college, did you do theater? Did you do acting?
Yeah, I came out with a Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Okay, there you go. And so then you knew that you wanted to be out in Los Angeles. Why not New York?
Well, everybody moved to Los Angeles, so they just went up to Syracuse, packed me up, threw out all my great holy jeans. I was really pissed. They're
Who's
like,
everybody?
my parents. They came out there. They were like, no, you're not bringing holy jeans to Los Angeles. Like, people in Los Angeles don't wear holy jeans. I mean, everybody's holy out here.
Right.
Anyway.
That's true.
So they basically took me out here. My whole family was out here. My uncle's a very well-known producer. He was the executive producer of Rocky. And so we all came out here. My brother went to law school out here.
Well, that's kind of a big deal. Did he come out here to do Rocky at the time?
Actually, it's so funny. He came out here to be an actor. I actually saw him late last night at 3 a.m. in a movie called Hot Rods to Hell. And he was
funny.
like 17 years old. And it's like, I can't believe those movies they did back then.
Oh,
so he
my
came out to be an
gosh.
actor when he was 17.
Wow.
Great. And
Very entertaining family, I'm sure. I'd like to have Thanksgiving with you guys sometimes.
Yeah, you would.
All
Try
right,
to get a
next year.
joke in.
Cool.
And you, from college, went on to start working in acting. What was it like when you first began? Was it a scary thing to jump into, or did you feel like you were a real natural?
Well, actually, I first had to get rid of my accent. I mean, I still have a little bit. Like when I drink or I start cursing, you'll hear the accent a lot more. But when I first came out here, I was talking like this. Very New York, you know?
So you went to a dialect
So I
coach.
had to go to this guy, and he beat it into me how to speak properly,
Oh my gosh.
you know?
Yeah.
He was very proper.
All right.
And so at first I did that, and then I've been through managers and agents and started in the theater when I first came out here, and then did my first film.
What was the first thing you booked out here?
Well, Night in Heaven with Andy Garcia. It was his first movie too.
That was the first thing that you booked out in
Yeah.
Los Angeles?
Yeah.
And Andy
That's
Garcia
really
movie.
good.
Yeah, an Andy Garcia movie. Well, it wasn't an Andy Garcia movie at the time.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
we were all like so young, and it was just so cool to be on a set and watch him. And actually, he had a small part, like I did. But Leslie Ann Warren was the star in it with Christopher Atkins, and
Oh, wow.
they were like in love with each other.
What a great experience! Your first experience in LA to be able to book that, and
yeah,
a
it
lot
was
of
awesome.
artists aren't that lucky.
Yeah, it was
By
great.
the way.
I got my SAG card from that movie.
Oh,
Very cool.
her first audition. Did you hear that? I'm pretty jealous. Anyway, so we're gonna be back after these commercial breaks, but also we're gonna be talking to Amy about her teaching technique, the Lyndon Technique. She is not just a master actress; she's a master teacher.
Find information about that on amylyndon.com and give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. We'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Neti on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. That's Neti Leddel.
That's Brett, aka Brettski Chapin.
We're talking to actress, author, and international booking coach Amy Lyndon.
And before we embark on that, I'm sorry, Amy, really quick, but Peter from Henderson, Nevada.
Peter.
We love you. Thank you so much for that phone call. He says that he listens to us. He's listened to us since the beginning, and that means so much to me and Brett for that phone call.
Thanks
you.
for listening, Peter in Henderson, Nevada.
Peter. All right. Now, Amy, what's going on? What's shaking, babe?
I want to meet Peter.
We want to meet
We
Peter,
want to meet Peter too. Come visit us in the
Hi,
studio next
Peter.
time you're in LA, Peter.
You know, okay, perfect. So,
So we were talking to Amy Lyndon, and we started to talk a little bit about your history as far as first getting involved in the industry and all that. We talked about your film with Andy Garcia. Where did it go from there?
Well, I've done 40 films since and 30 TV shows. In the middle of all that, I became a personal manager, and it was so funny because we went under other names. So I used to negotiate my own contracts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, using a pseudonym.
Don't try this at home.
No, don't try this at home. And it started out really small, but then it blew up, and then we became like real managers overnight.
Yeah.
And I ran the company for 9 years, and I had a partner, and we created some great careers and became full-time managers. So what started out as kind of like a desperate need to work became a full-fledged business with working actors. And one of the actors was Adam Brody.
Oh, wow.
And we
Very
started
cool.
Sarah Paxton's career as well. But during that time, actually right before that time, a friend of mine asked me to coach her daughter for a feature film. And I said, well, I've never coached anybody before. And this is 18 years ago. And I said, oh, okay, I'll do it. And it turns out she booked it. And I'm like, hey.
Wow.
And I ended up teaching her or coaching her on what I did to prepare. And that's where the 15 guideline technique was born.
And people can find out information on that 15-line guideline technique at thelindentechnique.com or tltaccess.com.
TLTaccess.com is a business site that I created because of all my years of marketing and business. And, I was fortunate enough to have incredible managers during my journey. And they taught me so much about marketing and publicity and how to get yourself out there and how to put a really amazing business package together, because there's some really great actors out there, but they're an A actor, but they have a C package. And so they're really frustrated with the people that represent them because they're C reps. So an A actor and a C rep, it's very frustrating. And a lot of actors just pack up and leave, and they're so talented. So what I did was put together this thing called TLT Access, which is the Lyndon Technique access. So it's access to me. And I hired a marketing person by the name of Justin Turner, who's amazing. And we're giving away a free 4-week booking kit. So anybody who goes to tltaccess.com you will get articles and lectures, and you'll actually watch me on video coaching somebody, and you could really see the technique.
Wow.
A lot of great information on there.
Wow. So, okay. So, how am I trying to say this? You basically went from a player to a leader in the game, basically, but you still play within the industry and you still go out and you work as an actress. But how was that? Was that an easy transition to become like leading all these people into, figuring out what they were going to be doing with their careers? Or was it just kind of an organic switch over? And also, I mean, do you enjoy the teaching? Is it something that you feel is?
Oh, you know what? All great questions. First and foremost, I got out of the management because it was frustrating.
Okay.
Because there was some really great talent, and it was frustrating for me that they weren't being seen because I am them.
Sure.
Also, I also felt that teaching, coaching actors to work as actors, not teaching them acting, but teaching them how to work, was exhilarating. Like almost as exhilarating as being on a set.
Wow.
So the management was it didn't feel like anything great to me, like producing didn't feel great to me when I produced. But directing, coaching an actor from scratch to help them get a series, or even working on the set doing a film. Those are all things that make me want to do a Snoopy dance, and to me, that's like really being in my power.
Yeah.
It's so interesting as an actor. I recently got to be on the other side of it and watch a casting session for the first time. And it's really,
I think every actor should do that, actually.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I've cast a number of films, and there was There was one of my students came in, because of course I bring my students in only.
Sure.
I'm like, hey, what
That's
can I tell
right.
you? It's Hollywood.
That's right.
You know, you
Politics,
wash my
politics,
head back,
politics.
I'll wash yours. There it is. And I also know their talent, so you know. So I brought a student in, and he was phenomenal. But the director said, "Oh my God, great actor, but not for this piece," which brings me to what the technique is about. Really understanding the tone and the style of what it is that you're auditioning for.
Sure.
And what the technique does is it gets you in line with exactly what the writer intended, and a way to work, a way to break down a script, actually having a template to get to the details and becoming detail specific about what the script's about.
Right.
And how you play it is dictated by the tone and the style.
That's right. You
Yeah.
were saying it's all there. It's already written for you.
Yeah, the writer comes first. I believe any actor can play any role if they would just let go of themselves and have the character channel through them.
I truly believe that you believe that, actually.
Yeah.
Has there ever been like a student that you've just thought, oh my God, though, please go back to Kansas? There's no way. It's just, I God
That's
bless
so
you, but
funny.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
You know what? I've had other students say that about students. Like they would go, Amy, you sure this student is going to do anything? And I'd be like, you know what? I'd rather take a student that has excitement level, a passion, than a student that's overtrained, that's not open to learning.
Because you can make so much with somebody who's open.
Somebody that has a great imagination, that's open and excited, will go far.
Yeah.
Talk about value. That's value.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that she could work with anybody. Anybody.
Yeah, anybody who wants to work.
That's how it
Because
seems.
just because you come here doesn't mean that you really know how to work.
No.
You know.
No.
And I, by the way, if you're gonna come to Los Angeles, and I really just need to tell you this, if you're gonna come here, make sure you come here with at least 3 years filled with cash.
And
3 years.
sunscreen.
Definitely helps.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
We'll be
Yeah,
back to talk to
sunscreen.
we'll be back to talk to Amy Lyndon in just a minute on La La Land with Brett and Ned on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. That's Neti Leddel.
And that is the fierce Brett Chapin.
We're talking to actress and booking coach Amy Lyndon. If you have any questions for Amy, give us a call at 1-800-336-2225.
That is right. Talk about the fiercest of all. She can turn anybody into the first-rate booking actor, which is pretty difficult to do.
Yeah, I believe I can. I've seen it. I've seen people that have come to me with no credits, and then within a year, like I have one guy. He's now he's working on a 3D Civil War film in Chicago for over a month, playing Oliver Wendell Holmes, Mike Pfaff. And a year ago, he had like no credits, nothing, just theater stuff.
Then he
Yeah.
took his career and set it off to launch.
He put together his package properly.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted it. You saw that he wanted it, and you completely helped him embrace it.
He was a
That's
sponge.
great.
He was a sponge. You could tell somebody something, but whether or not they're going to go and do it is a whole nother thing. And that's what separates the boys from the men and the girls from the women.
Wow.
You know, I mean, people take courses all the time, but do you actually actualize what you have been taught? Do you go ahead and do it? He was fierce about it. And there's, I would say a couple hundred people that I know within the 18 years of doing this that were fierce about it.
Oh, yeah.
And those are the people that are working today.
Sorry, I'm not talking in the mic.
Into the mic.
Wow. Okay. So, speaking of people and things and futures of Hollywood, what's going on with the media, the digital media boom, and your take on that in the future of Hollywood, the internet, basically digital.
You know what's fantastic about the digital today? That anybody could actually come up with a product. And there's so many creative people that have been pretty much locked out of Hollywood because they don't have the right rep, or they weren't born into the right family. And that if they're great writers and they're great actors, it literally is, my uncle has a barn, let's put on a show. And that's what's so beautiful about it. It's also a great place for people to get their SAG card, to create some business there. And there are literally media departments set up at the big agencies, ICM, CAA, William Morris, that is new media, where they look for product. And there's been a lot of product coming off the internet going right onto network television. So it is a great place to be. But, you know, like every other business, you have to strategically put it together. Like one of my students, Nate Golan, who fortunately put me in his stuff. All my students put me in their stuff, which is great. But he's got this show called Workshop, and Hulu picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in its second season. So he's very ambitious, great actor, and he's got a great team of people, and so he's doing a great internet show.
And we hear a lot about actors using SAG New Media contracts to get into the industry, to be what's called Taft-Hartley'd.
Yeah, I think it's a loophole, and I hope that they don't close it up. Because if there are people that deserve to be in the union, and if that's a way for them to get in, then that's beautiful.
Can you explain a little bit about Taft-Hartley for those listeners that might not know?
That means if you book a union job, you don't have to pay the dues right away. You could actually be union and do non-union work as well during the course of the year. And your next union job that you book, you are what is considered a must join. And so then you have to go in. You got to pay whatever the price is to be part of the union, and then you can no longer do non-union work.
So that's why you say come here with 3 years of cash worth money, checking account type thing.
Well, a really big deal is that, you know, and I see it all the time, and it's really sad that people come in with a year's worth of money. They come to Los Angeles, and it's within that year. It takes a while just to get lost all the time in the city. You know, like I could be a cab driver at this point.
Yeah.
And so within the year, they get their pictures, they maneuver around, get in the right classes, and the money's gone.
It's a business.
So just when they're completely set up with their team in place, now they got to go get a job because they're out of money.
Right.
And so I see the cycle. It's a spin cycle. So they have to get 3 jobs. They're exhausted. They can't even get to their audition now. And so, or there's massive conflicts. They're not totally showing up, and now they need the job.
That's right.
You're never going to book a job when you need a job. You're going to book a job when you don't act like you need a job.
Sure.
So, plan it properly.
Isn't that
it's
the
just
worst?
Yeah. It's just really hard in Los Angeles because there's so much to do.
Oh, yeah.
And people come here and they get caught up in the party scene. And
Sidetracked.
believe it or not, a year goes by, 2 years go by, and then you're out of your teens.
Yeah. And
And
you are
so-
the tool, right?
What?
You are the tool. You are your resource.
You are absolutely.
You are your business.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a little corporation walking around.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, if Hayden Panettiere can have a purse named after her, believe me, some of you guys can at least have a shoe named after you. I mean, seriously.
I think a lot of actors come to LA and they forget that it's about marketing yourself and it's about the business side of things just as much as it is being a good actor in the creative
It's
side.
like sometimes
Lyndon,
you
we
look
love
at you look at somebody on TV and you go, "Oh my God, how did they get that job? They suck." Well, they're better at business than you are, my friend.
That's right. Amy
And that's
Lyndon.
all it is.
Amy Lyndon, we love you. We love you. You breathe faith back into the people who don't have faith, right? Into me.
Right on.
For more information on Amy, go to thelyndontechnique.com. That's a 15-step program. Or tltaccess.com. You can also find information about Amy at amylyndon.com. And we're going to be back to talk to Amy a little bit more.
And those 15 easy steps right here on CRN Digital Brett.
All right, CRN Digital Talk. Talking a little bit about the 15, is it step? It's not
It's
step program.
guidelines.
15 guideline program that you have, the Lyndon Technique on thelyndontechnique.com.
Right.
And it must be something pretty special because it's a technique that's named after you.
Well, I find that a lot of people out here don't really have a technique. You know, I get a lot of students, they don't know what they're doing. They still don't know what they're doing. Like, they study with everybody and they still don't know what they're doing. And so what this technique does is it gives you an idea of what you are doing.
Right.
Okay? And so you have 15 questions to ask before you get working on your scene, and it gets the scene detail specific to what the writer intended. So the choices are actually made by the writer, not by you.
But these are just scenes specific for auditions, right?
Well, a lot of people use it to break down scripts. They break down, but I like to just say that it's a booking technique. But I have people that use it when they're on set.
Okay.
When they get scripts on set, I have series regulars that use it for every scene that they've ever broken down. What it does is it gets you to the nucleus of exactly what's going on in the scene, and the exact truth is what pops you in the room.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of people that make stuff up when they walk in, and they're not actually reading the scene as written. Like, I was coaching some girl this morning, and I was like, what script are you reading? Where are you getting that information that she's happy, when in the action right here it says that she is devastated and sad? So why are you playing that happy? Because she decided that's what she was going to do. So it's logic. If you read the script exactly as written, the writer will say, oh my God, he's reading it exactly as I wrote it.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, seriously, it's logic. The technique is
Make
logical.
choices.
It's a tedious technique. It's not an easy technique. But once you figure it out and once you know how to do it, it's like butter.
I know. It's like she's like, God, it's so easy. She says it's like, I've taken the class before, you guys, and you know what? It is a little difficult. I'll admit, I probably wasn't the best student at first, but you know what? I know that with sticking to it, it's a matter of actually getting in there and being motivated and determined and having, God, what's that word?
It's a way of working. It's having a way of working, you know? So then you'd be able to, every script that you break down, you'd be able to break it down the same way. It's how you play it is different, dictated by what the tone and the style of the show or the film is.
Yeah, but you're giving them exactly what they want.
Well, then what they get to do is they get to take all their juicy training that they've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for and plug it in. And the more an actor is in touch with their all their emotions, the better they're going to do. Whoever tells the best story is going to get that job, guys.
That's
Awesome.
That is pretty
Makes
true.
a lot of sense.
Yeah, I do make sense.
Well, thanks so much for coming
I might
in.
be a little wacky, but I do make sense.
Oh, Amy Lyndon, we love you so much.
Thanks
We
for
love
coming
you
in and
so
making
much.
sense, Amy.
Thanks.
For more information on Amy, go to thelyndontechnique.com, tltaccess.com, or amylyndon.com. And next week, we're going to be talking to the cast of the longest running show currently playing in Los Angeles, Caught the Play. 40% off your tickets, guys. Go to caughttheplay.com and put in your promo code LALALAND for 40% off your tickets.
$10 tomorrow at the Zephyr Theater. Caught for one day only, right?
For one day only.
And us, Brett and Net.
We'll see you next time.
That's right. We
on
love
La
you.
La Land.
From
Brett and Net.
La La Land. That's right.
You guys rock, seriously.
Thanks for coming in, Amy.
Thanks, guys.
See you at the top, guys.
At the top.